It's been like a dream of mine to be in the Jurassic family forever. I grew up watching the Jurassic Park movies. One of my first memories of going to the theater was going to see the first Jurassic Park. I think I was like probably 10 or 11, and it was completely mind-blowing. I mean, it was mind-blowing for everybody because the technology that was used to create, all of the visual effects they were all brand new, and none audiences had never seen anything like that.
I think that the mutated dinosaurs are fascinating and make for an original viewing, but they also comment on, I think, humanity's need to push the boundaries consistently in a very unnatural way, in a quite selfish manner.
You have such little real estate to hook the audience, and into the character, and take them along for the journey, so they care about the outcome of the film, or outcome of the characters' lives in the film. That you have to make it count, and I think it was important for me that the character felt like someone who was a sum of all their parts, and had like lived a life and had hopes and dreams for herself and desires, like moving forward, and that she could see like a future for herself based on like what she had experienced. That stuff is so important to know. But again, not that much time to do it in.
But I think that's something that Scarlett led everyone with, because not only in terms of just leading the film in itself and us being on set, but that sort of level of groundedness in the character. I think there's a scene with her and Mahershala that I absolutely love, where all that. Actually, even in the first scene where you see you in the car, spoiler alert, she gets in the car, but the sort of humanity and the real stakes for Zora is just so present, and I think it's down to Scarlett really for setting that tone. I think
Gareth has an incredible visual vocabulary. He can see the whole film in his mind, and you know that because you see him often going like this. He's like really thinking things through all the time because I feel the film is like playing in his mind, which is amazing. And he's operating the Steadicam himself, and he's really, he has, I think his strength is really in his, imagination. He has like an incredibly, beautifully organized imagination that, like, when you talk to him about how a scene's gonna, how a scene will play out, or like what happened before these circumstances right now, he leads you through the story like as if you're watching a film.
I think Henry is really intrigued by Zora. He's never met anyone like her, but also he, I think, seems to be, in a sort of animal sense, quite empathetic, and he picks up on the fact that she's obviously experienced some really dark things. And she's roped in for this final mission, obviously, because of the money. And in the hands of Scarlett Johansson, I think she's a bit of an icon. And they do really click. And they click not only because they're inherently good people, but there's, I think, a real fascination, and it's to do with a very sort of apparent opposing interests and motives. But I think that's something that Scarlett led everyone with, because not only in terms of just leading the film in itself and us being on set, but that sort of level of groundedness in the character. I think there's a scene with her and Mahershala that I absolutely love, where all that. Actually, even in the first scene where you see you in the car, spoiler alert, she gets in the car, but the sort of humanity and the real stakes for Zora is just so present, and I think it's down to Scarlett really for setting that tone. I think
he's such a gentle person, and like really, I think has huge admiration for performance, and he came on as a fan as well, which I think is a great place to start, because we all have deep respect for all the source material, and we come at it from a place of like wanting to pay homage to work that we love, so it was great to be, then you're like never jaded, because you are always kind of in awe of the environment you're working in. And Gareth was really like that. He always was like, he's always in a good mood, enthusiastic, lots of, like, such a good energy, because he was, you know, like, it's your dream has come true.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's in the same way, well, for all of us, but, you know, he's the perfect director for this movie. He's spent his whole life studying film, and he was saying that even before the opportunity arose, he'd been watching Jurassic Park, just taking notes, just to understand. You know, obviously Spielberg's one of his huge idols, but with the work he did in Monsters, which he did before having studio backing, was doing with, you know, consumer grade equipment, is like extraordinary. And you can see the identity in that filmmaking process then all the way through. And so to give him the keys to Jurassic Park was just like a brilliant idea. And he's just nabbed it.
Yeah, he delivered it.
He delivered.
They're like the stuff of nightmares. I actually think they're almost too scary. And yeah, they're just, I think they're going to blow everybody's minds. I mean, that's certainly when you ask, like, what is, you know, what have we not seen before? The dinosaurs in this film are like nothing you've ever seen before.
Jurassic World Rebirth is a film that questions humanity's role in the natural world. Especially with scientific advancements. And it asks that brilliant question of, just because we can, should we? And I think, obviously, for anyone who loves the original Jurassic films and the films that followed, and anyone who loves the natural world, and if anyone who's curious about how we're moving forward in terms of us as humans, this is the movie for you. I
think Zora is impressed by Loomis. You know, he is incredibly enthusiastic and passionate, and has so much information. And you know, I think as she gets to know him better, she understands more of his values, which I think she's impressed by. She calls him an adrenaline junkie. He's actually like a very adventurous person. Which I think she likes about him. But
I think that's something that Scarlett led everyone with, because not only in terms of just leading the film in itself and us being on set, but that sort of level of groundedness in the character. I think there's a scene with her and Mahershala that I absolutely love, where all that. Actually, even in the first scene where you see you in the car, spoiler alert, she gets in the car, but the sort of humanity and the real stakes for Zora is just so present, and I think it's down to Scarlett really for setting that tone. I think.
I don't even know how to describe the scope of this film, because it starts off in one place that is so different than where it ends up. It's like it starts out in this urban jungle, and then we're on the water for this period of time that becomes just a total, you know, it's like Jaws had a baby with Jurassic or something like that. And the movie is just this giant spectacle. It really is it's as big as the dinosaurs that we're collecting dino samples from. It's just like, it's huge.